here we go. We're going to do with simple gods. We could have heroes too, and advanced gods, and full choice, and golden fleece. Now, if I put golden fleece, does that mean that for sure it's going to be golden fleece?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you put golden fleece, yes, it doesn't just randomly select that.
Okay.
It will be. Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that was a good Prometheus game. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it was you who had the idea that we should focus in on one god. And for one video, like just nail a god and just, play many games with different other gods. Was that you who suggested that?
Sure. Yeah, that's one of the ways I learned Charybdis and Grea, actually, are the two that I've done that with through the whole roster, basically. And
okay.
It's immensely fun. So yeah, pick somebody.
Okay, I'm going to go with Athena as our god of today, because clearly one of my favorite gods, one of the first gods that I came up with, and remains one of my favorites.
Interesting. So one of the first. What was the absolute first?
I think Atlas was the very first. Yeah. Or maybe it was Artemis, but an Artemis that allowed you to move back to your original location. Yeah, but those all came within minutes of each other.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been a lot of fun. Just kind of sitting there. You already had the great idea, and the rest just needed to follow.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be going up there.
Maybe neither of us.
Maybe not.
Well, what about there?
Okay. So I think that 4-player games will always trump 2-player games in our little setup here.
Did you say 4-player games will trump 2 players? Because I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So if a 4th player comes here, we're just going to jump right in.
Yeah. Because 3-player games, I have like some misgivings about. 4-player, yeah.
Yeah. No, 4 players. It's just so much fun to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's just been very, very fun.
Have you got anybody you can arm twist, Nate? You go by Nat or Nate or Nathaniel or
Nate. Nate or Nathaniel. Just don't do Nathan.
Nathan, yeah. All right.
Huh. So how does that work exactly? If he moves up on this turn, can you not move up, or can you move up because he stole Athena?
No, I don't think I can move up.
I think that would make the most sense. Okay, well, today we learned.
Okay, now that was a surprise.
Intriguing. Well,
so Athena's power is on opponent's turn, such and such, right? So since he doesn't have Athena's power,
on the beginning of my turn, yeah, I think on the beginning of my turn, that was not there. So this isn't a very fair game then, because we didn't understand the rules. So we should just like fast forward through this, and
I mean, Kevin might stop chances here, does he? I guess probably not. Or maybe.
It's not looking good. Again, I love your inner struggle there, Nate. Maybe it is. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's in the middle. I don't know. 50-50.
Okay, so is this losing for you or winning?
Yeah.
It's always a good question to ask. No, build on D. Oh, yeah, maybe this.
I don't know. I botch
That's
Athena,
interesting.
and actually,
okay.
Nate or somebody, we are due for Athena versus Eris, because I have lost that twice very, very badly as Athena,
As Athena? Oh,
both times.
okay.
And I'd love to know what is amiss in my play to cause that to happen.
I think that's losing immediately. Well, is it?
It probably is.
I think you're better off just doming there. Oh, now he goes.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna go down with the ship. Obviously, I didn't learn the first time.
I mean,
All right. And I didn't capitalize on it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. We're not going to record that. So
Well played.
welcome everybody. And today we are here with Nathaniel and Kevin, and we are looking for a fourth player. I'm going to advertise for that right now on the main site. Return to the main site. And let's see if we can get anybody else on general messages. Anyone for Zoom and BGA Santorini? Is that a good description? I think that's a disaster communication.
I asked Rod's SP personally. So I guess this is me putting him on blast if he says no.
Okay, so why don't you two play a game? And
Works for me.
the one of the gods for 2-player games today, one of the gods has to be Athena.
Oh, okay. Starting with the A's.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and send you an invite, Nate, I guess. Or you want to play Gord King of the Hill style?
No. You guys play.
Let's do it.
That one wasn't a fair one.
1 second. We might actually have Endbringer here.
Oh, great.
Our
Apparently I
faithful,
don't have him on my friends
our
list.
faithful buddy Endbringer.
Nice.
Let's
Yeah, that would be fun.
So does the rule that one of the gods has to be Athena apply to 4-player as well? Because that might get
Nope.
spicy.
Nope, doesn't apply to 4-player.
I'm gonna go ahead and preemptively turn this into a 4-player.
Oh.
And we'll see what happens.
Okay. The anticipation.
I know. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make him multitask too, because I think he's in a racing game.
Oh, like vector race? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
I'm a great arm twister. You just a little bit of politeness with a little bit of like begging, and then if that doesn't work, outright threats.
Yeah.
Hot diggity. Okay, let's
There
do
we
this
go.
thing.
Awesome. Oh,
Nice.
I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy because that means we are going to be having a 4-player.
Hey guys, how's things going?
Welcome back, sir. I got to ask you, what's with the Orioles?
Big question. Haven't a clue.
Well, they're pretty bird.
There was probably a good reason back when I started doing it. I think at the time I was playing a role-playing game, Legend of the Five Rings, and I picked the Oriole for like my clan, so it was a phase of life. And then I just decided, hey, everyone sticks with the same profile photo all the time. I'm gonna change mine every few months, keep it fresh. And 10 years later, here I am.
Oh wow! How many different Oriole photos has that that labor of love taking you through.
Who knows?
Have you met all of the Oriole individuals?
As long
through
as there's no
photos?
follow-up questions, then absolutely yes.
Okay.
If there's any at all that requires verification, then
I
I
mean,
refuse to answer.
If a wild Oriole is like seen in California or something, do you have to go and grab its photo to add to your collection?
Oh man, yeah, I
Anyway.
definitely didn't just pull them off Google Images. Right, so it's up to me to
Certainly
pick
not.
some powers. Is anybody got a particular hankering to play any of these?
Are we doing the thing where we pair them off in groups of 2 or?
Yeah. We forgot to do that the other day. I think that's a really nice system. So, Connor, you are going to be suggesting a 2 versus 2, and you're going to be selecting the 2 for both teams.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we will be following. So I'm going to be with Shelder the Conqueror here.
I think I'm gonna pick like the strongest powers just for fun.
You can feel free to hand me Charybdis, man.
Let's go with
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Terpsichore and yeah, okay, if you want Charybdis, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Against I don't know, Urania and Charon. They're the 4 strongest that I can currently think of.
Wow.
I have a strong suspicion that Terps and Charybdis are in an advantage here. Although I don't know.
I don't know,
Urania's
man.
not nearly as good in 4-player. I should think so.
If Urania, yeah, if Urania was on the opposite team with Sharon, that would be very difficult. But having them on the same, I mean, they can come throw you anywhere, basically. You think you're safe against the wall, but then they, drop right through. And
so here I have to choose. And what are the 2 teams?
Well, if you look at the names on the right, it looks like blue is myself and Kevin.
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, which are the 2 gods on a?
Oh,
on a.
Yeah, you get to pick their gods.
Yeah, you get
gods.
to pick 2 gods to be on each of the teams, and then we get to choose only if I choose.
Okay. So Charybdis can be with Terpsichore.
Okay. Nathaniel.
Oh, you were wondering what my preference is?
Yeah. Do you want to?
I think the Charybdis Terpsichore side will be better. Charon's gonna be pretty strong, but Urania is gonna be pretty weak. So that's where I'm balancing it, because Terpsichore is probably almost as strong as Charon, and then Charybdis is probably gonna be okay.
Okay.
It's unclear. It's unclear to me. So wait, what?
So
Kevin, you chose the wrong one.
What do you mean? I thought.
All right.
So we teamed it in 2 sets of 2, and so if they picked Terpsichore, their other person would have got Charybdis, but you took it.
My bad.
We're doing 4-player.
No, we can go and do another.
No. We're going to do the free for all then. So
okay.
I'll definitely snatch Charon up. This sounds pleasant.
Wow, we definitely got the 2 weaker powers here.
That's scary.
I believe you.
Why did one of us do that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so you were, I was under the assumption you were designating who got what power on what team, and that is not the case.
Yeah, he was divvying up into groups of 2, and we got the first selection essentially.
Sure, I gotcha. All right.
And
duly noted.
we were stealing your feared Charybdis.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I had allowed such a thing.
So this is clearly a game for people who are first-time players of Santorini. This is a great game for you to watch. Not.
I was about to say like
you could fall right in line with this.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is pretty much when you play your first game of Santorini, these are the powers that you understand the best intuitively. Yeah.
You could make it more complicated by adding Nyx into the mix as well, so that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always feel like Siren is really weird to play Athena against. Maybe it's just because I don't have as much experience with it. But
In a 4-player game, I find that Siren is it's really good because it's like it can be so hard to get back to one side of the board if you keep being pushed away. You spend half of your game just trying to undo the opponent's push.
Yeah, Siren Triton is pretty good. That's a fun one.
Hey, Toady.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, welcome. We got a whole
welcome.
party here. We should have ordered pizza.
I get the feeling that I probably stole somebody's seat because I was like the last to be invited. Okay. I am loving the fact that I now have an actual corner to step up onto. So this is good news for me.
Right. Okay.
At least they can't throw us every turn, you know. That's good. Oh my God.
So you can step in and critique. Oh, actually, we've got a formal.
I figured I wouldn't critique because I think if I give you a recommendation turn Terpsichore, this will become a bit of a slaughter. If I'm being honest.
He's being honest. Completely honest.
Looking at the teams, and I see probably the two strongest powers against Charybdis and Urania. Good luck to Kevin and Connor.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to turn out that way.
Don't worry.
The teams are going to be Charybdis plus Terpsichore.
Terpsichore, yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be interesting, I think. I think this will still end up being interesting, though.
Well, the ability alone to double build, I mean, over my stuff, that's no fun. We're going to be on the perimeter a lot. They can just peel us off, and that's no fun either.
I think we have a point.
I think it's fun.
Kevin.
I'm having fun with them. I don't know what you're talking about.
You just need to put your Charybdis pools in a place where I can get them from with my power.
Yeah, that's true. That is one thing we can do is kind of just play on opposite sides of the board, but it is God.
It's an option that Charybdis doesn't normally have. He normally has to be a bit worried that somebody's just going to stand beside his pool.
I really would like to be you on this turn and 3 them because they're going to have a double win coming up in like 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Charybdis's whirlpools are too slow to get out, I think, here.
I think it's also very awkward that that Charybdis is after the double move instead of Urania. In terms of defense, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
See what happens. I know that's the best I got. It's way different when you can only pool every other turn.
Yeah.
Nah, that doesn't work. Okay, well then I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That move's better than I realized.
So,
The difficulty is that they're going to take C4 and they're going to be in range of that pool, and that's going to affect what I would like to do.
yeah.
Yes.
And it's going to take me far too long to replace it all.
No, I was thinking I can force them to build on B1, which would buy you a turn to do something. But I don't know if I can force them to build on B1 while staying adjacent to the pool.
No.
What if I'm yeah.
Okay. Try something different. Not sure what.
Hang on. Let me.
It's interesting.
I would let's keep A1 for the time being. Depending on what they do, I think I want to keep that guy there if that's okay.
Sure. So where are you moving?
I would
E5
probably I'd probably move to D4 or E4. So that way
You'll be up in the next game.
you're in range to dome B4 if something happens there.
Okay. Do you maybe a level 2 on E5 here, just to give us options?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Okay.
Still, it makes me a little nervous. It's not a ideal.
Okay, I know what I'm going to do. Oh, no, not that.
Yeah, I think I see what you're going for.
One thing that might be good for you, Gordon, while you're streaming would be just use the full screen icon. Beside the sound.
Okay, just let me see what full screen icon.
Top right of the game screen.
But can you see the powers in full screen?
Okay.
Oh, like that.
Okay, so probably I shouldn't have done that mid-game, but thank you. Yes, that is superior. That is definitely superior.
Otherwise, people just get distracted trying to figure out what your tabs are.
Well, what I do is I do cut that out anyway.
Ah, do you? Okay, never mind
Yeah.
then. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I want a whirlpool for Christmas.
Can't say no to that. I mean, I'd love to have the upper hand in some capacity, but
Okay, so the threat here is just them building on C5 twice, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you guys don't have Urania next turn, so that is an issue.
Okay. Any thoughts? So thought number one is I jump up onto C5 and jump down onto B3 to cap C2. Is that yucky?
Oh,
is that
I didn't consider that. That's interesting, but I think the issue with that is that you might be in a bit of an awkward spot after they move to D4 on the next Terpsichore turn. No, I guess you'd be able and build C4 was what I was thinking. On the next Terpsichore turn, I guess you'd be able to move back to C5, but I'm not entirely sure if it works out there. I would try Charybdis. That's a possibility.
Okay.
It's it feels anti-positional to me.
You're right. Okay. So let me not do it.
I think we can just like outpace them.
Right. Okay, let's do that. And I will go up here. Get that. And I will, I could build on the whirlpool. No, I'm not going to keep that whirlpool where it is. And I'm going to.
Oh, no, yeah, it's not anything. Well, I saw something for a second.
So
yeah, we want to force
for
them
the
to build
win
over
here.
top of the room if they want it back. What's up?
If I go for a C4, oh, then they're going to go with B3.
Yeah.
So that's not as interesting. So I'm just going to build there.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to unveil your master plan here, Kevin.
Yeah, I think the world is. I think I'm waiting for it too. I really have got nothing, man.
Well, I guess that their straightforward threat is just to step onto to get A5 as a level 3, right?
Yeah, if I see, I'm thinking if I stepped up on C2 and they tried that, you'd be able to defend that.
Yeah, the issue is you wouldn't be able to defend the next turn after that, I think.
Yeah.
On like C5.
Yep. I mean, and I don't think going for a pool play helps at all. Because yeah, we're too far away from A5, so that doesn't work.
Probably worth at least putting one on. If you do get rid of one, put another one on C1.
No, I mean, there's no way that I can do that while leaving you the ability to defend against A5 on the next turn.
Well, I can just step down to C1. Oh,
yeah.
Well, no.
I have to move this guy, and this is the only move that leaves all potential options for the next turn defensible.
Sure.
Even though it's fairly unpleasant. Maybe that. At least we've got 2 pools out, and we won't be slow if they overbuild one.
Mhm.
Don't they have a? Oh yeah, good. Okay, done.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I
Uh,
build there, they don't.
But wait a second. B1 really kills that threat
Yep.
immediately.
Yes. And then we
Oh,
win
I
on the
see.
next turn.
I see. Oh yeah, that's right. Got it. Good, good.
Oh. Yeah, yeah, we do, because we're next to one of the roll pools, and the only way to get to that roll pool is to move the worker away from the other one. Interesting, if you place the second roll pool on E3, you might be like vaguely almost fine instead of D2.
Instead of this isn't. Say it again.
We are winning here.
Yes, we
if
are.
they had placed the roll pool on E3 instead of D2, I'm not sure if we're winning here. Because they'd have that op. Oh wait.
What am I
Okay,
missing?
Yeah, no, that's fine, I guess.
If you had moved both workers to the level 2 and built the level 3 in B5, you would have
Yeah.
won, because you could enter with one worker with Terpsichore and then with the other one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I sense the technical.
Yeah, I was thinking building it B5.
The
But,
slight.
incidentally, since we have Charon now, it's it wouldn't be immediate either. I mean, this position isn't horrible or anything, though. Is it?
If you flip the D4 worker onto the whirlpool, then you can force you can force that worker to move. Otherwise, you're going to win by moving on to D4.
Does that work? Does that flip them through the pool?
No, I don't. Oh wait, does it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Interesting.
Only when you move to the...
Oh, it's a move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super
I was
cool.
I was really hoping that would lead to us winning the game by you experimenting there.
Yeah, it was the plan all along.
I like how we've got the creator of the game on the call, and we're still like, a bit of trial and error. Let's see what the rules are.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there is a little bit of BJA in here as well. They make very intelligent decisions in putting this together.
Ooh. Yeah, so now A1 is a legitimate threat. I might have to do something like this.
I mean, you can still build A1.
Actually, that looks really simple.
Sorry, why was that not? Oh no, I see. Got it. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I actually like this idea a lot.
Okay, yeah, you can't. Dang it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So
I mean, one option I have is to try. I can build an E8 and force them to have to spend half of his move to go over and and dome that. However, Urania hates having domes on the corner, so that's long term going to screw us up. But
Did you say E8?
I meant E5.
Oh, okay.
I'm so used to playing chess, and I was just thinking the corner is the stage rank.
If you build E5, I think we just use that since you won't have Urania next turn. I'm under the impression this position is a forced win for us, but I haven't actually ironed out all of the details yet.
So how do we cover? How do we cover A1?
How does he build A1? is the better question.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So
Yeah.
I can
Because
step
if-
down to the sea.
If you move off of B4,
We went.
they jump in the
D2.
pool and win, right?
Well, you can build
Yeah.
on D4, I suppose. B4.
Oh, yeah, there's no, you can't be fast enough because so I was thinking of B5 build on A1, but then of course you lose immediately with
Yeah.
to D2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
What
was a
about-
sweet move.
Thanks.
What about
I can move to C2 and build
What-
on our pool to get if you wanted to get the pool back.
what about moving to C4 and then doming the existing level 3 pool?
Oh yeah, that might
Does-
actually
I mean-
Because
that's not
the thing is, when Terpsichore gets the next turn, she can go for a double win. E5 and C4. You're on a level 3. You can't move there and win.
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
that's also, it's a position you can build A1 on your next turn if we make it that far.
I don't see how I'm building A1.
You move to B5 and you build on A1.
But then I'm not Oh yeah, because you're gonna pool it, I guess. I'm not threatening to step up to it though.
We're on B1 right next to it.
But B5 is only level 1.
But
So if I move to
you
B5
can-
and build on A1, then
you can
Yeah. I think I want that D2 pool going. I'm not sure though.
Like that?
This might be better. I was thinking building on D2.
On B2,
D.
D2, duck 2.
Yes. I was thinking
I-
about
I mean,
playing
we're
Kevin
controlling-
Hatfield.
We're controlling that whirlpool now.
That is true for now, but I want to be able to flip and build on A1 next turn.
yeah, I don't know how we start.
Oh, actually, I see your point. I guess they won't even have the whirlpool back that turn, so maybe it's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it.
Okay. I think
it's
I'm fine. with that.
Reasonable.
I have an intense fear of whirlpools that I've developed over many of games, and also specifically from like the thing that happened a move or two ago.
Yeah.
So if I build on A1, yeah. So if we had flipped them, I don't think they had a way of building on A1 this turn was the thing. But the other thing is that they don't have a way of having a whirlpool, I guess. Oh, but that won't work out. The timing of that won't work out. Okay. Oh well. We can still very effectively control that whirlpool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah, I like that.
why are you of the opinion we can't get to A1 at all? Or
Actually-
that we can get to A1.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was
I'm
thinking
sorry.
that was
No,
your turn, not
No,
mine.
actually,
Yeah.
no, we can get there. We can get there. Never mind.
Yeah,
You-
you can go to E1. You can go
Yep.
to E1. Do I care? That's always the follow-up question. I do not.
Yeah, it's forced my hand.
And I think we can double win here because we'll be next to the whirlpool, so there won't be any
Oh,
shenanigans.
yeah, that's nasty.
Hey, I remember at the start of this game, you said you weren't going to help with Terpsichore. What happened to
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, at least I didn't help at the open.
Everything agreement there?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
You guys
Yeah.
won the moral victory. And that's
If
what
you're
really
if you're
matters.
gonna win, you have to do it my way. Secret.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's good.
Good job.
Yeah, I think Charon Terpsichore is like way stronger there.
Right. So Todi Liju, you are up. I'm going to be sitting out this one, and you guys play a foursome.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
who's
cool.
setting it up?
Okay, I'll send the invite.
Nice.
It's the little things.
Mm. Yes, so kind.
I try. I really do.
And just tell me whenever you guys are in, and I will bring it up on my.
Some Santorini power in one room for sure.
Yeah. And we're still doing the thing, or we're starting to do the thing where we divvy it up as two teams of two, like for the gods. Oh, good teams.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we're in.
So I think we're doing the thing where Toadie picks two gods to be on one team and two gods to be on the other team.
And then Kevin ruins it. Is that the plan?
That's right. That's right. So I pick third and I throw the wrench right in. So to date, the Toady Sheldor alliance in the attempts that I've made, and I think there have been 3 or 4 of them so far, has never been beaten ever by a living human being ever.
For what it's worth, I think me and Toady had one game where we thought it was close to the other team winning. We were playing something like, I think there was a Siren on the enemy team, and we had a Demeter plus Triton, maybe.
Oh yeah,
it was something like that.
Yeah, that was the thing with Norlong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I remember that game looking like, I thought that eventually we were going to get just frozen out of having a good option.
Yeah, and I was the Artemis. Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, and then we ended up finding an option. I was like, oh, I guess we're good.
So I can still hope. That's on my bucket list now.
Yeah.
So you guys will each introduce your own power this time. The first time you use it, or the first time, whenever you're placing your pieces or whenever you're making the first move, just introduce your power.
I'll try to do it as dramatic as possible.
Yeah. That's what we're
Make it sound like
for.
a game of Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
Yeah. Whoever gets Siren, they have to actually burst into song.
So probably Castor and Pollux and Iris against Siren and Zeus.
Cool.
All right. So I guess we've got first pick of that then, Kevin. I'm immediately leaning towards Iris and Castor and Pollux.
I like the Castor and Pollux. So yeah, go for it.
Okay. Which would you prefer?
Are you good with Iris? I don't know that I am. I like builders. That's pretty intuitive to me. I know.
There's good at different levels. Like I
Yeah,
did a
I
200
think
player
the
with her.
person who's better at Iris should be getting Castor and Pollux, because that's the person that's actually setting up Iris's turn.
Yeah, that is true.
Not to create more discord or anything.
Connor, let's think of this from the perspective of turn order. Is there any reason we would want? I think we might want Iris. We don't know what order they're
actually,
gonna pick
incidentally, something interesting about the 2 versus 2 thing is me and Toady kind of get to choose the turn order, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Correct.
Because if Siren appears before Iris, then Siren can just mess up the whole turn unless the positioning is blocked.
Right. So I guess I should pick my god based on that. Unless if we like add on another layer of the actual order that they go in. Which I guess we could do. There's something saying we can't.
Okay.
Let's just, overall, yeah.
Okay. I think that means that I should be picking Zeus for the reasons that Endbringer just said.
Yeah, I don't like that I'm helping you. Aha, he fell for my trap.
So Todi, introduce Siren.
Oh, Siren, the alluring sea nymph. You, instead of a normal turn, you cannot move at all if you force one or more opponent's workers in the direction of the song, no matter the height of the next square. In that case, you force one or more workers and you build in a square adjacent to one of your workers.
It's interesting that people always seem to play this facing orthogonally. You rarely see a diagonal facing.
I always assumed the reason for that was because diagonals essentially have two walls that you can stand on that don't push you. But they can make you go what it seems like more distance. So I haven't tried diagonal much. It could be interesting.
The AI will do it against Triton, and I've wondered about this for the longest time. It will do it over and over and over and over and over again without fail almost. And I
does it work against Triton?
I don't know, because Triton seems to have won most of the times that I've tried it with anybody, even lower level people. I don't know if I'm good at either of those powers, but
I do think Triton has an edge on Siren, but I haven't tried diagonal against them.
The thing that's stuck in my brain is that overall, while you do have more wall space where you can't exercise Siren's power, it's longer across the board to get up to the E5, for example, if you had diagonal wind pointing down, whatever the top of the board happens to be. And I don't know if that's a strength or not, but definitely we should experiment with that sometime.
So just to introduce my power, I've got the ability on my turn to jump over a worker, friendly or enemy, if it's adjacent to me at the start of my turn. This can also allow me to move up multiple levels. So as an example, I can skip over this one. And I can win by going up to level 3 this way.
I don't know if that's better or that's better. I guess I'm very content to just do this here, I think. I could be playing this way wrong. I'm not actually that used to Siren, but I think that this makes sense.
That wasn't a dramatic telling of your power whatsoever.
Oh, right. So the dramatic telling of my power is, in Santorini, you can only build on the squares adjacent to you. You don't get to just shove a block underneath your worker. And whoa, what was that? I'm playing as Zeus. On my turn, instead of my normal build, I can build underneath my worker. Some important things to note, because a lot of these things happen as Zeus. You have to win a game of Santorini, you have to move up to level 3. So I can't build underneath myself and end up on level 3 because that wasn't a move, that was a build. I can't move from level 3 to level 3 because that's not moving up. And yeah, I think those are the two main misconceptions people usually have with Zeus.
Quick question, Kevin. Do you think that if the wind is facing downwards, where in general should we be trying to build the blocks? Now, maybe this is a better question before my first move.
Yeah, you're not going to like the answer, and I was going to give you a phone a friend, but it is not at the top row. That actually helps them. We want to go down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And in fact,
well, where were you 2 minutes ago?
I'm gonna set you up there. Yeah, we want to avoid letting them get to one of those inner corners and sitting there with Siren. And so what Sheldor did by giving Toady some height, we're gonna have some trouble. I imagine the threats are going to be D5, E5, E4.
Yeah, that's where my head is going to.
That we're going to face this
or
game.
E5 also.
But the good thing is if they try to level 2 us,
you do at least have Iris, yeah, to like hop up there. Oh, yeah, that's mean. I like it.
Okay. I don't necessarily like letting them move to D2, but I think building a level 2 in D2 was worse.
Yeah, I actually thought you were going to push them down and build on like D5, E5, or E4, or move to C4 and build D5. But I also am not that good with Sirens, so
no, that was a good option as well. The reason I chose this square is it has another square adjacent in B5.
Yeah. So yeah. I think we want this worker to stay close enough to them to deal with anything that comes up, so I'm tempted to do this. I feel like that's very reasonable, although there's one thing that I guess I'm not sure about with that. I guess I shouldn't be worried about that thing that I was thinking about. I think I like this.
One thing to consider here, Kevin, is that if they step up onto that C4 square, I can jump over it onto D4. So we kind of have that available. If you move to here, I'm not sure. Can Siren push up 2 levels?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only thing that really stops is domes, and I'm kind of.
And Siren's workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just like looking at the option of playing to C2 and like building C1, for example. We're at least threatening to jump up, but then maybe we're moving away from what we're building.
Well, I could build without moving and keep your nice square there. I think I want to sit on D2 as long as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
How about I'm actually inclined to do this. So,
that looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, the level 3s. I mean, they're not. They're decent for. They're decent for.
I think
Iris.
I like the other move you're about to play more, but I'm not actually sure if I'm good enough at this matchup to have a strong opinion.
Well, the thinking on being on C5 is whenever you guys do stuff, I could double build up there and cover that, and kind of we want to concentrate on our little corner too at the same time if we can.
So, do we build in C5? That's the question.
Yeah, I think pushing and building in C5 makes the most sense to me.
No sense?
Most sense. I think it's a good move.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, big difference there.
I think Zeus might recover quickly in this corner if we need to.
Yeah.
But I think for now we can just push this worker. And what about
We could
the
also
other?
think about building on D. So Iris is coming up next, so maybe not D3. Okay, yeah.
What about pushing this worker?
I think pushing the D2 worker as well is wise.
Yeah, me too. We build here.
Yes.
What we could try look at is something where we try to set up our own workers in a row for jumping to level 3 to force them to have to cap their own building. I'm just looking at the idea of jumping to D3 and then getting a worker down at like E2 or something. But I'm also just still figuring out my life. Because if I was to do what would be like more normal, like if I just try to move up to B4 again, I feel like Siren's just going to push me back down to B3, and we're just helping them build.
Yeah. The other thing I thought about, and I don't think it's a good move anymore, is I thought about lining up with C4 by moving to C2 and then trying to get some more blocks where we are, but build D2 doesn't really work.
Yeah.
But I do not want Zeus to go to D2 and build under himself, and I do not want him to go to C5 and build under himself, and I'm not sure how to accomplish that.
Yeah, I think one of those is most likely coming. With like a vague off chance of moving to B4, if that ends up being there.
Why not E1?
Sorry?
Why not E1?
I'm looking at the possibility of playing a worker to C2, which would put a level 3 on D1 and setting it up for Iris, whereas E1 feels a little bit harder based on the B3 worker to get a jump off onto.
There's also an interesting side idea of me like moving to B4 and building on B5, but I think that's too slow. Or moving to B4 and building on C5 so that you can Siren and build on B5. But I think that's not great.
No.
So I think this looks right.
What we do have here is like if we choose to build with Pollux, we can like build on E2
I could also
now.
play more defensive if you'd like.
I hadn't realized you hadn't confirmed your move.
I think building on C5 is right though. Like intuitively.
Yeah, it feels like it because we can use Siren next to build in B5.
Yeah.
Even if they build
or even
in
D3, D4 perhaps.
Yeah.
My initial thought, Kevin, is like building on C4 and E2 or E1, sorry. But
yeah,
what are you thinking?
No, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So if you're okay with it, I think. I mean, that's that's obligated.
Mhm.
So they'll probably, like he said, build B5. We will be 2 spaces away.
You see, Nathaniel has this tell that every time he thinks he's losing, he starts touching his face.
Ah, yes, certainly.
I do way too much trash talking for somebody who loses so much.
Yeah.
The best
I
trash
talk a
is
lot in chess.
when you're losing.
I guess I trash talk a lot in this, but I'm still like trying to figure out. I'm calculating, you know.
Based on this conversation, I would have to say that the amount of talking is inversely correlated with one's BGA Santorini score.
Yep. The strong silent type at the top.
I feel like it's just push B3 and build B5, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe push both because then we have well, yeah. If you push both, we have threats of like me moving to B2 and this.
The move I'm considering is this one.
Yeah, I think that looks good.
Not in D4 because I think they could jump to D4. I don't know if that would be good or not, but at least we couldn't create an immediate winning threat.
Yeah, I really like this move personally, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that we have to think about is if, for example, I jump to D4, he just steps in C3 to B4 and wins on B5. Yeah. If I do nothing, you win on C5, which leads me to think I have to step up to B3, which is not really what I'm going for.
Yeah, that's the problem with Siren. Once she gets to level 2 on the opposite direction of the song, it's very hard to defend.
You know, if I'd played that first move not on B5 and had it played it somewhere at the bottom, this would be tough.
Yeah, the game would be a lot closer right now.
Like a little ghost coming back to haunt us.
Yeah. Is there anywhere particularly worth building here?
Just away from their structure, I'd say, and lower down the better. I mean, A2 seems like the only logical option, but it doesn't really do anything other than throw the block away where they can't use it.
So I can abuse Zeus to get on to level 2 on D2, or I can just build a level 2 on D4. Both actually look very appealing to me right now. Because if I build on D4, if they're not going to like make a threat on E1 to just make us cover that immediately, then they'd have to stop us from both doing. Oh, I guess it would be Iris up next, so they wouldn't have as hard of a time doing it. They'd like move up to B4, I guess.
I think,
and that would that wouldn't be able to go to D4 though. Huh.
The easiest move is just to go to D2 and build.
Yeah, that's true. I think that there's no need for anything too fancy.
I think we eventually win in the 5th row because now they have no threat at all.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is definitely simpler.
Way to clip our wings, guys.
The only way for them to try another thing was to build a level 3 in A2, but even like that, I think Siren can force the workers to ruin any possible jump to A2.
Yeah, I think Iris.
Maybe if the previous build was on A3 and then they moved to A4 and build it up again, that would like have some vague chance of at least securing the worker in a defensive spot.
The Siren Iris dynamic in turn order hit pretty hard in this one, I think.
We could like do the matchup with the actually 2v2s and prescribed turn order if we wanted. right? Like this team's first, and the order is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mhm.
It'd be
That
harder
might feel
to
a
pick
bit too
towers that
restricting, though.
would be balanced.
I think I'm
What's up?
obligated to move there. Yeah, I'm pretty much obligated to move there to cover B5.
Yeah, just for simplicity, you could describe that in the rule book as you choose the 4 gods in a clockwise pattern, and then the first player chooses whichever one they want, and that describes it for everybody else. So that actually can be described quite easily.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thinking like a game designer, I like that.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, that can kind of like let people be on the team they want, like the god of most too, right? Because like if you're doing people picking in clockwise order, you could even have it be like not preset teams and just you know, someone offers the gods in that order, and then the first person to pick just picks one, and then they're on that team with
Yes.
whoever else picks it.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
They are Castor and Pollux next, so yeah, this looks 100% safe.
Yeah, well, there was.
Yeah, there wasn't really.
No, the
stopping that
the
long
other thing would have been to just like jump off our own building and give them something on
YOLO.
our own building. And again, that's a moral
honestly,
victory I can't just give up. I will say one thing though. The 4-player 2v2 team dynamic, still like it's not an entirely cooperative game, but it has enough of a cooperative element. There aren't a lot of board games out there that have that, and that kind of experience is something that I love about Santorini. I mean, play with your friends, you team up with your friends. Sometimes you beat other people. Sometimes you lose very badly.
I suppose thinking about there are like a distinct lack of board games that are 2 versus 2.
Yeah,
Trick taking
well
game
played,
is kind
Chris.
of common.
So let's cross our fingers that more get out there with that dynamic, because it's really
because I do like team versus team games a lot.
Yeah, right.
When
right
you were
here.
saying cooperative, I thought back to one of my other favorite games, Spirit Island, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've really been enjoying Spirit Island. Okay, so
I'd be happy to sit out the next one if you're looking for a volunteer. To give you a chance to play, Gordon.
Sure. Okay. Let me do that. And why don't you be the only person? My teammate can't advise me, but Connor, you can. Okay.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So.
Sure.
Okay.
I never start games with that button that way. I always go to play now and create the table.
I usually use the rematch button, but I guess in this case you'd have to kick someone and add someone, which is a little bit awkward.
Yeah, no, I'll have to learn how to do that. So you go anyway. I'll learn not in front of everybody. I'll learn by myself.
I'm learning too. Maybe your way's better than mine.
No, I think it's not. I find the people are a little bit cumbersome.
I mean, I'm not a technology forward person in most ways.
Oh, wow.
When we decide to play the game using intelligent plants, we'll give Kevin a call.
Yeah, you hook them up to a computer, and what would they think about Santorini?
We really do need to get on teaching plants how to play board games. I'm under the impression it's currently a very untouched area of research.
Well, I've been working on it for 25 years, and one day I'll have results, maybe. Oh shoot! I
oh wow!
power.
Oh. I mean, I'll take it, but
yeah.
Okay.
The easiest way to win is to just pick all of the ones that involve some degree of luck or randomness. So Chaos and Titch, I'm not sure how you pronounce that name.
Yeah, I've always gone with Teich for some reason. But I don't know. I mean, there's like a bazillion ways you can say it.
Oh yeah, I've always said Taiki.
So you say Tai Chi, so you pronounce the
Yeah,
E
we
at
need
the
to
end.
we need to go back to the Greek on that. Like some really linguistically nerdy person while we're playing needs to help us with that.
Hypnus Hades. What would that mean? Oh gosh.
Oh,
Everyone has a passive power. This is gonna be interesting.
I usually call this kind of thing the,
Okay, so whatever
the-
you do, don't make the teams Limus Persephone. Trust me on this. That should not be one of the teams.
right. I can believe that.
this is the game where
'Cause,
nobody
yeah.
gets to do what they want to do ever on their turn. So it's
Right.
some really bad move.
Hmm.
All right, so the teams are going to be
Oh, and do you want to prescribe a Tornador as well or not? I don't think it'll matter much.
I'm not because everybody's
I
pretty
guess,
much
yeah, never
active
mind.
all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Hypnus Persephone seems like a really annoying combination too.
Yeah, I can see that being like really ridiculously good, or it just keeps them moving up and screws Hypnus over. But I know how bad Limus Aphrodite is. But you know
Wait,
what?
how bad is Persephone Aphrodite? If Aphrodite Persephone are on the team, I feel like that might actually be like a turn one. Oh, no, because when you build, you're not building next to. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
you'll be adjacent. You'll
Yeah.
let's.
I was about to say, like, that could get crazy.
I am
It
so
still would get
curious.
crazy.
I am so curious about this lark of Persephone Hypnus together that I'm just going to say let's go with that. So,
Persephone,
Limus Aphrodite, Hypnus Persephone.
Okay.
I'm going to think about this option a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
Persephone.
so-
Hello, guys. Seeing
Hello.
some new faces.
Hey,
Oh,
man,
hello.
is it Manique or Manic?
It's Manik, but I go by all of them.
Okay.
So my take on this is Persephone and Hypnus might probably be able to counter Aphrodite and Limus because the key value of both of those would be occupying really great spaces on the board so that you can control the game. But if Persephone is going to force them up to move them, maybe.
Yeah,
or maybe
I think I am leaning towards Persephone Hypnus.
I'm leaning towards Limus Aphrodite.
I think Limus
in the short term, in the short term, I'm worried. In the long term, I want Limus Aphrodite.
It's pretty sick. I mean, you
and you can't build next to Limus anyway, so you can't force Limus easily unless he chooses to.
I think I would pick Limus paired with any power.
I'm totally happy here. So let's see. Turn order. Kevin, do you have any insight here?
Does it matter
maybe
which
I'm
one
off
you
on this.
pick?
Yeah. Oh, there's no insight to be had. All of these are opponents' turns.
Well, the
They're all
Aphrodite,
passives.
the positioning of Aphrodite would be probably the only variable.
More important than the positioning of Limus. Okay, so
well, no. What?
I'm going to choose Limus then.
Yeah, let's.
Like, there's no difference between Gord choosing Limus and Aphrodite.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Right, I forgot.
Why did they believe you when you say they don't believe me?
Took that out of the equation.
No. I mean, I got it from you.
Yeah, you have an air of credibility.
Which god was paired with Persephone?
Hypnus.
Was it Hypnus?
Hypnus. Yeah, I like this Venus flytrap. I think we just have to weather this storm at the start.
Let's
and I
hope
think
we've got Monique and Connor here on our 4-person team.
Yeah,
Against
absolutely.
the number 1, and I think Sheldor, you are number 3 after Graturs. How do you guys say that? Graturs?
Oh, I think I'm
Um,
currently number 2 just by
Yeah, number
the
2.
Winds
Just
of
jumped.
Fate.
Well, congrats on that, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not at all intimidated right now in any way.
Yeah, just the number 1 and number 2. It's perfectly fine. Fair teams.
And again, kind of going back to that, I mean, like the percentage chance of even somebody in the 600s or 500s, like killing one of you guys is.
I did lose a turn-based game to Shush Quiet Please recently.
Yeah, I saw that and I got him back. I did the same matchup and I got the Hephaestus side.
Yeah. Now, I'm actually very embarrassed by it because
You
I
moved
played
up to
like
the,
that matchup a fair number of times.
Yeah, you moved up to the
I
corner
completely
too
missed
fast.
the doming on B5 move. So if I hadn't missed that, maybe I would have found a better idea.
I actually got my Master Assassin against you, Nathaniel.
Oh. very nice.
You picked Cleo and Eris, and you picked Eris to go first, and Cleo just was a really bad matchup. So
Eris?
Cleo won.
You're saying Eris or Eris?
The one who lets you control your opponent's move with the worker they didn't use. Which one is that?
Cleo. Wait, was Cleo not better in that?
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that does seem like a really bad matchup. Okay, good. I was like really worried that I completely misunderstood it for a second.
Just had to take that moment to get my brag in.
Anything wrong with that, Gord?
Nope, I like it. I think.
Stay kind of in the center. Don't get dragged to the perimeters.
I know exactly what I want to play against that move.
Okay, nice move.
Yeah. Escape. Or at least the option of escape.
So let's see.
We're a little while. I think we want to follow.
I think you guys might just have to move. Hold.
But no, I don't like that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
We don't,
Okay, I think I'm going to go to A2 here, like this.
yeah, exactly.
like that.
And you
I don't usually like to give.
I assume go to D5, build on E5, just spread them out between E1 and E5.
Mm-hmm. What about D2, C3, and building D4?
I don't want him to chain both of our workers to his C2 worker, is my idea right now.
Yeah.
So, in my eyes, I think that would be a terrifying mistake.
Mm-hmm. They could move to B3, for instance, and build in B2. Yeah.
I think we outpace
A2.
him if it's just a game of Hypnus versus like a threat on the other side of the board.
Yeah.
Right, because they're gonna be saying
Here
all
I'm
on
still. Here I'm still considering other squares like E4 or D4.
D4 and C4 all seem reasonable to me as well. E5 seemed the most intuitive to me because I don't want us to like, let's say we build on C4 and then he moves to D3. I feel like then we might be forced to move to C5 or something if we don't want to have both our workers tied down. So that's my argument against it, but I'm also open to counterpoints.
You were saying why not D4, for example?
I think he would move to D3 and build somewhere, maybe C3 or something. Like, my full-on opinion is that we win this game if they can't attach the C2 worker to both of our workers at the same time. But I'm not sure about this.
So I think building on C4 is interesting. exactly that reason. It's central and it can't really be used by them without giving up control. Do you like it?
Yeah, I think you're right, because they'll have to reposition. And the question is, I guess, where do you want to be located in the middle of the board? You want to be on C3, you want to be on D3, block more spaces with Limus, make it where they can't reunite their workers and move across the center. The only thing is we're going to have to keep moving the C3 worker. So while it seems like it would attach them to Aphrodite,
if they move to C4, if we build on C4 and they move to it, then, for example, we could move into D4, and then we've got the selection of anywhere to jump up that we want.
yeah,
We feel quite a lot of freedom. And for sure, we're going to be jumping up the next turn, but we have freedom to do so within bounds.
You know, we didn't actually introduce our powers this time. We probably should do that.
So God, why don't you guys just raise them to the top, and they're forced to make some moves so that maybe it gives your Aphrodite some chance later.
This seemed intuitive to me, Toady. Do you agree, or should I rethink it?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I also like the move, but I'm not sure if we should be so quick to play it, because we might not have another shot at moving to a level 1 in the center.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I see that you want to split this worker, and I think that that should work. I'm just trying
we get the guaranteed
to
level 2s on D1 and E1, I think, if we play this. I'm not sure if we get a win on the turn immediately after, but
yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Manik, I didn't understand what you were saying.
Oh, it was right before you moved. So what I was saying is maybe you're in a soup right now, because as Sheldor said, right, as long as you cannot attach both of their workers to your free worker, they can probably win, right? So the idea would be to force them to somehow get closer together, and one way to do that would be just use both your workers to race to the top, right? Hypnus is slowing down one of them, but you can just race them to the top and then attach both of them. Do you see what I'm... Not anymore, probably. Like it's maybe late now, but earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just as a rules clarification thing, I don't know if this will actually come up, but suppose that your worker right now was on instead of A3, it was on some weird square like E3, and there was a level 2 on B4. I assume that it would be considered not possible for you to move up to B4. So because my wording of my powers, if possible, must move at least one worker up this turn, you guys wouldn't lose by not having a move. You just get to move the E3 worker.
I assume that as well.
Okay.
Okay. So are you okay with this, Kevin?
Oh, you mean moving up and taking it? Yeah, I think that's a perfectly good move.
I mean, the move is forced. The build is the only thing.
I'm kind of just wondering where we position after that, because we're gonna have to chase that down.
Just this move, right?
Yeah, definitely that move. I mean, it's really tough for them to actually catch us with at least the A3 worker, because it would like double back on itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they'd have to commit the C4 worker, which again, we just like switch up our sides at some point.
I'm very happy, Kevin, for you to just jump down with your.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Same deal.
Exactly.
I like that too.
If they move
wait a second. Okay.
For us, I mean, to be clear.
Oh, I forgot that. Okay, I forgot.
I'm sorry, but Oh yeah, because we got to move it next
Yeah.
turn. Because well, no, I'm not afraid of that at all.
Oh yes, quite.
Why don't you take him to C2 and level 3 them so that?
Oh, maybe because he has to move up.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not doing well on that one. So
I was even
well,
thinking
that's-
instead of building on C1, if you built on B1, that it might have given you a better option.
Yeah, that actually would have been a pretty reasonable move, I think. Actually, no. Then he'd be too far away because we'd move to E1, build D1, and then he'd be forced up to B1 is the closest spot I could get, and then I just move back to D1 and build E1. Oh, I see your point. Yeah, then he could attach with Aphrodite again, so he wouldn't actually have a winning threat there. Huh. Yeah, that's actually a really interesting point. That move might have worked.
well, I have new respect for Persephone Hypnus. I thought that Limus Aphrodite was going to be incredible here, but I think in the long term maybe, but we never get to the long term maybe.
Yeah, it's very unclear. I think there is a chance that this is a matchup that's decided on the first turn if you aren't super precise. So maybe if you had build on C3, you would have been close enough to both of the workers that it would have been perfectly fine.
It could have been more optimized. I mean, they pretty much did all the things that I guess you're supposed to do with both his powers. You know, you're building in the opposite sides of the board. You're forcing the opponent to go the way that kind of gets them away from. I don't know. I mean, we can't jump down, or we really get screwed, and we are.
My intuition is actually shifting towards Aphrodite. Limus might actually have an advantage there if they play the opening very precisely. I think after turn 1 we had a severe advantage. I think after turn 0 you guys might have been winning.
I was turn 1, so what are you saying?
Tome, welcome. And it's time for Manik, and Tome, Todi, and Nathaniel, and we want Connor in here this time.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna sit this one out. I might have to duck out.
I'm fine saying one out if need be. I think I've been all of the games so far.
Okay.
Likewise.
So we'll go for Connor, Todi, Tome, and Manik.
Yeah.
All right.
And one of you guys can send out the invite. And if it's possible to share your video camera, it makes for a more interesting viewing. But if it's a mess in your place or whatever, then just forget about it. It's okay.
Yeah,
it is a mess in my place, but not in the camera's view.
Okay.
Yeah, give me a couple of minutes. I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay, so someone else set up the game, and Manik, you go for it.
Yep.
I'll set up the game. So who will be playing?
Tome, Connor, yourself, and Manik. Tome, you might want to introduce yourself, tell people who you are and what you are, and etc., etc.
Just to clarify, Tome is my brother, and I invited him.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, thank you.
I had a feeling, but I wasn't going to spoil the fun.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Yeah, I can tell with the last name because of the YouTube channel. Makes sense.
Yes.
So who is the fourth member? Was it?
Do you have Endbringer in there?
Oh, you're not my friend, I think. And Bringer.
That hurts my feelings.
Wow, yeah, way to put the man
You're
down.
no friend of mine.
Wait till you guys get paired up. Make it work.
So let me just send you an invite.
Sure.
And
Oh yeah, and for anyone confused after the fact, the powers were one team was Persephone and Hypnus. Persephone forced opponents to move up each turn if possible, and Hypnus made the worker that was highest up on the opposing team unable to move. And the other team was Aphrodite plus Limus. Aphrodite, if on an opponent's turn, if they are adjacent to you, they have to stay adjacent to you. And Limus is on opponent's build, they can't build adjacent to any of your workers unless if they're building a dome.
Are you guys in?
Just waiting for
Yeah.
Manic to join.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, everybody's here.
I hear Tome is responsible for the great Todi Liju learning Santorini. You want to tell us what that was like? Who won the most? How long have you guys played?
A couple years, maybe, I don't know, 2-3 years, I don't know. At the beginning, it was more competitive. Now I don't stand a chance.
Oh, did we play with limited choice?
By mistake, I selected that option. If you want me to go back, I think we can come up with
Okay.
for a reasonable choice.
Yeah, I would rely on your fearless judgment on those 4 powers. I don't think anyone could do better.
Oh, we have brothers standing against the world.
Nice. We can speak in Portuguese and no one will understand the plan.
No, he's actually talking about me and Manic, separated at birth.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Flags do appear to be the same colors unless if one's like yellow and the other one's like orange for one of the stripes. So
David, do you recommend
I don't
any?
know.
I think you can offer 4 powers and we'll tell you if we think it's unbalanced or not. But I think as long as you don't offer Limus, you're more or less safe.
Yeah.
And maybe Apollo, but Apollo can only use his power in 2 turns, so maybe he's not that strong.
That's true.
But
Let's veto Apollo.
still annoying.
Yeah. Let's veto Limus and Apollo.
Okay.
I want to veto Hera then.
I always like.
Never mind, we're going with it. Oh man, if Nathaniel had said it, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, I think with Hera we can probably have maybe a slightly strong power as well. I don't know. Apollo's maybe no. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, that looks
Definitely.
like Hera. Hera, I would choose against anything else there right now.
Yeah. I mean, Harpies might make it interesting. Like Hera against Harpies.
Hera against.
If you split the teams like that.
Hera and Harpies together.
Oh yeah.
Todi,
If
do you
Hera and
have
Harpies are together, you're gonna have to like make the other team pretty stacked, I think.
you guys have a concept of who generally wins Hera versus Harpies? It seems.
Yeah, I studied Harpies a lot, and I can tell you more or less the gods which are strong against them and the ones who are weaker. For example, Hera is surprisingly kind of weak against Harpies.
Oh really?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, it makes some sort of sense because it's going to be hard for her to get any sort of center control.
I only beat the AI because the AI doesn't know how to play with against Hera.
Yeah.
the AI starts building in the perimeter as if it would ever gonna win there, but
So I'm just thinking about it. What do you guys think? But I haven't thought completely about these four and how I would club them.
I feel like you'd have to split Harpies and Hera. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I feel Hephaestus is going to be brutal against Harpies. Is that true?
yeah.
Brutal for whom?
Good for
Or
Hephaestus.
yeah. What are you suggesting? The pairs of gods?
I suggest Harpies and Hephaestus, but I'm that's just my guess against the
Harpies and Hephaestus might just win by speed alone.
Well, they have to win in the center at least.
Harpies and Hephaestus seems interesting.
But they could probably win in the center.
But
I was like, they have to win in the center. But I was like,
Oh yeah, actually,
they might be able to do that without too much issue.
Yeah, I think then that kind of, you can't be in a corner and block it off easily. So
Harpies, the way Harpies is worded, I'm pretty sure an Eris turn will still be like a normal move, which is very interesting against Harpies.
yeah. Eris's alternate move would not be affected by Harpies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
I agree.
So
with
that's
that.
a very interesting and probably crucial defensive option.
What would be the same thing with like a Dionysus move, that it would be just a standard move, non-influenced by a lot of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And,
thinking more and more that Harpies and Hephaestus probably belong together in this matchup. I think it has good defensive options.
Yeah, actually thinking about if you have Ares paired with Harpus, that sounds very terrifying because usually I think moving people to like the light squares can be kind of devastating in some situations.
Throw them right in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Would that actually work that way?
what about?
Well, I guess that's still opponent's turn, so it wouldn't actually quite work. But okay. So you'd be able to move them like normal, not like a Harpies move, but that would still probably be pretty strong. Since they try to play around the corner a lot, so you'd be able to like
Throw them
push them
directly.
down.
Yeah, throw them
And-
directly into the corner, like if they were on like a
And that would take
D1,
several moves to
D2
like
kind
get
of thing.
kind of realigned, probably. So like somewhere vaguely useful.
Have we considered
Interesting.
yet Ares and Harpies in the same team?
That was what I was just saying. I think that that'll be very terrifying to play against, but maybe Hera is enough. I don't know.
Against?
Yeah, I think I thought that would be very favoring for Harpies and Eris, but I'm not sure.
Because Hephaestus from these four seems the strongest. In general, maybe Ares could be the strongest, but in Ares versus Hephaestus matchup, for example, I think Hephaestus holds the advantage.
Are you sure about that in a 4-player game specifically? Because bear in mind, Hera and Harpies are kind of in some sense twice as strong as they'd normally be because their powers are always on instead of just on your specific turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so my suggestion on the table is Harpies and Hephaestus versus Hera and Eris.
Okay.
Does that work?
Oh,
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
keen to see it.
So which team should go first?
So it's Eris is with Hera, right?
Yeah.
I think they should probably go first.
Okay.
So should we talk about the order of powers as well.
I think giving Hera the first power and not letting Eris move either of the workers and getting to a very strong first position is probably the right call.
And I think what Toadie's asking is, are we actually like doing it with a prescribed order, like Hera, then Hephaestus, then Eris, then Harpies?
The only dynamic might be Eris following after Hephaestus.
Yeah, I think that's the main dynamic
Because the
at
others
play
are
here.
just
The other
passive.
two are passive things, and
Yeah.
it's a question of whether you want Hephaestus to be after Eris or Eris to be after Hephaestus, essentially.
No preference.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is tough to tell.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's a lot harder than a 1v1.
Yeah.
So, Tume, which team do you prefer? Harpies and Hephaestus, or?
I prefer a team with Harpies because
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, actually, I prefer it as well, but because of Hephaestus. So just pick Harpies or Hephaestus and we'll be fine.
Yeah, Connor, we probably have to play Eris quite strongly and get their Hephaestus, pull it down really. Otherwise, they can just race us to the top.
Yeah, of course. What I'm wondering about here is, as we were saying, it kind of matters if Eris goes before or after Hephaestus. So
I think after would probably be the smarter thing to do, right?
okay, so
What do you
which
think?
case?
No, I'm just thinking about if they gave us a threat, probably, yeah, you can't move that worker which just gave you a threat. So maybe before sounds better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh, you chose Eris. Oh, I thought you were going to go after Hephaestus. I thought that would be stronger for you.
But
then
the
I
teams
would-
are Harpies and Hephaestus together. Oh, sorry. You said something totally else.
So there's no choice to be made here. Yeah.
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 Okay. Good luck, guys.
You too.
Longest setup ever.
Yeah, it can be a little bit long, but I guess it helps to avoid
Understand the
random
matchup.
surprising
Yeah.
rollouts.
Well, I could see being like a level 100 person, and you go and, oh my god, well, no wonder I'm level 100. I don't think it through this much. I just click.
Yeah.
I think we were at like the world's finals here or something, you know? Maybe there should be one.
Make it happen, Gordon. So interestingly, on turn 1, I could move either of their workers, right?
Oh, you got turn 1? Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
I placed the workers. Okay, that was my turn. Gotcha.
Okay.
So do you want to get into a strong position?
Well, yeah, ideally, but it's how to do
I
that.
mean,
Do you want to get into a strong position? Yeah, that's a great idea.
You want to hit a level 3?
It's 2 a.m. for me, so I.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to try building like one of the A1 or E1 corners, or do we want to stay up close to these workers and go up to like the 4th rank?
Okay. Just gonna think about it for a minute. Sorry.
The other option is that I take one of his workers and move down and build in the center. And it would force him to, if he stepped up, build somewhere we can also step up.
But next turn is Hephaestus. They will build 2 levels.
Mm-hmm.
So
And also you're against Harpies, so you probably won't be able to actually land on the square that you want to.
Yeah, that's likely the problem. I did consider that. Okay, so
I think I want to give ourselves a corner space that we might want to climb later with using one of their workers and keep them separate. Yeah.
okay. Sorry, that is not my color.
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't be able to stop there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Nick, starting off building in C3 doesn't look good against Harpies. Are you regretting that, or?
Oh yeah, I was a little bit skeptical of the worker placement myself as well.
What would be sort of acceptable placement versus a Harpies, like a B24, D24 type thing? B3, D3, comparable?
Yeah, I think in general you kind of want to be on darker squares because they usually have a lot more spaces, like just that you can branch out to.
I like the darker squares plus B2, B4, D2, D4 for starting.
Yeah, those seem sensible.
Yeah, I think of it as like if you look at the spots that against Harpies you'd like to move to, you think of it like drawing a pound sign across the board, if that makes sense, on across the B column, the D column, and across the 2 and 4 row, and you just try to stay and build and climb there.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So
So Hera's move now.
Connor, what are you thinking?
So if he on his turn moves from D4 up to E5, he's kind of either forced to build a level 3, which he doesn't want to, or he has to build on D4. And if he does build there, if we were to step up onto it with like our E worker, we'd find ourselves on the A file before we knew it.
Right.
So we could either step up to like C4 to block that path.
C5.
But then we end up on C5. Sorry, yeah.
I think climbing up seems nice to me, but we don't have a.
Yeah, if
don't
we
have
climb.
please don't do that.
It seems also nice to me.
I'll be the phone a friend. Please don't climb in the corner.
It could not be terrible since you have Eris off of the turns, but
that's the only reason it's potentially good. It doesn't looks dangerous.
What's so
I'm very
dangerous
shocked
about
by
it?
the build on D5, but it seems strong.
what's so dangerous
That's
about
not
it?
I would
not
agree.
shocked.
Well, it really profits off of the positioning of the C3 worker, so they really don't have a lot of good movement options after that. It blocks off a really critical pathway for their best positioned worker, which is the guy in E4. I mean, it's a great move.
Yeah, I like the move a lot. I just would never even considered that. I like the move. I just was
same here. I'm considering it now though. I'm considering playing it in the future myself.
What move are you guys considering?
Oh no, they're just waxing lyrical about the build on D5. That's all. Tony shows up, makes one move, and everybody.
Wow! The crowd goes wild. Yeah.
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 I think we either need to step up to E5 or move the C worker.
Okay. Yeah.
But I have no idea what's a good place to move it to.
So just pick a direction at random and go for it.
Yeah.
Always a good strategy.
We need a 20-sided dice.
So
I actually pick a random move on all of my charts in Santorini. It just tends to be the right one.
I like moving C3 to E3 and building on E2, just because it allows that worker on E3 then to potentially move and give up a place for the E4 worker to bounce off.
Interesting.
I can do the pointer function to like highlight the squares that you're.
yeah, that was okay. So next turn is Harpies.
Now, for all of you who were surprised with that pointer action, where on earth did you find that? And normal people on BGA, that would be interesting for them to see.
Are you including yourself in that category?
Oh yeah, I am.
If you click at the chat at this table,
Yeah.
And the hand symbol over the right.
There we go.
Yeah, you can only do it as one of the players.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually find it's very useful if you're teaching somebody a game and you have them on like a Zoom call or something. You can go, okay, and this track over here keeps track of something, and these locations do something else.
Yeah, that's smart.
What do you think?
I taught my roommate how to play some board games yesterday, and the quick chats were used only sarcastically. So that was fun.
And you started with Great Western Trail? Like somebody's
of course.
one intro to board games 101. It's like here's a weight like 4.
Hey, he had played Spirit Island with me before, so
okay. Well, hey, I mean, you got some smarty pants roommates then, but go for it.
So Connor, I'm thinking about this.
It could be fine. Ideally, we want to get on one of the spaces just beside the corner spaces. So like building on them is good. The problem is getting on them without immediately falling off onto the next space.
So I'm not trying to get up on that one. I'm just keeping my access to most of the squares on the board.
Yeah. What it does do is it allows you to move your E1 worker to D2 then, which is a nicer square.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could move C3 to it as well, but that looks a little bit iffy.
Okay. I think we're taking too much time playing each move.
Yeah, I think I know which way to vote just already, personally.
Wow.
We have got Kevin's support for sure.
Yeah. Oh man.
The corner is just the worst spot you can be against a Harpies.
Yeah.
It's like usually well, let's find out.
Well, I figured the point of moving there is to move to D2. But also,
Yeah.
I don't know if that has so much long-term potential.
But it's not got this. It's not got the speed. I mean, you know, they land at level 1. Hephaestus comes in. They got 2 level 2s. They don't get forced over them when they move.
Well, bear in mind, you do need to like expand it to the center at some point at least. I'm not saying that's going to be like
Totally forgot about that.
grand Herculean
Sure.
effort, but that is at least something.
All we need to do is create 9 domes and we win.
Well, that's
Just
not
need to-
entirely true because they might be able to choke you out of moves if that happens.
Yeah, no, that is true. Yeah.
It would be kind of tough to choke you out of moves because they'd also have to like stop the Eris move depending on the turn.
Yeah.
Is that a challenge on the app to like a Hera challenge to dome all the inner spaces?
I think it should.
I forget what they are, but
Now that I
some of
said
those are
this,
kind of
though-
ridiculous to achieve. I don't know if you guys try that at all.
Yeah, some of them do seem ridiculous. Now, what I really want there to be, I don't know if there is in a challenge like against Eris to win by not being able them not being able to move, like no legal moves, sort of deal.
You mean not only Eris's workers herself cannot move, but also the third worker of yours that she can move also has no legal moves?
Exactly. I think it's not actually that
Yeah.
plausible.
What would be the hardest? Yeah, that seems pretty amazingly difficult, but of the Santorini challenges you can imagine, what would be the most difficult? Unimaginably difficult, even if you're just playing solo to achieve yourself.
Huh. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. So, like, I don't have challenges in mind, I guess. One thing
Like
I wanted to do was
a-
try to like play an actual game and get 10 workers as Hydra. But I
Yeah,
haven't quite
so I mean,
found-
exactly something like that, or one for me on Hydra was to get a worker spawned on a level 3.
I've done that. I've done that.
I did that
Freya before.
one time and I won,
Yeah.
but or as Apollo, you leave the opponent trapped after you switch with them. That's his challenge.
It would be pretty fun if you played a game against Hydra where Hydra couldn't play a move because of or you won a game as Hydra because their only legal moves would leave them not able to move because of their power, right? Like the reason they have no legal moves is because of their power. As an example, pretend that like they have a single worker on B5 or something.
Yeah, it'd
And
have
it's
to be
their
a
turn.
corner, and so they would.
Yeah. And there's like tons of domes on the board.
Yeah, and you have to move down from a level 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I did have a Hydra game where I couldn't do a move because of that. I didn't like try to play it, I just realized I couldn't do it. And I was like, huh.
Do you have to build and then spawn? You build and then you spawn.
You build and then
right?
spawn, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that would affect things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, if it was spawn and then build, it would be easier to have happen, I suppose. But build and then spawn, you'd like build on top of level 3. It would be a dome, and then you can't
So-
spawn there.
So Connor, the challenge in front of us is next turn is Hephaestus, and either one of their workers gonna step up and just build a level 2. So what we wanna probably do is maybe using Eris's power or otherwise just deny them of a chance to do that.
Yeah, it's just that there's 2 different places they can step up to, and I'm more concerned about. Well, okay, so
I'm not sure if he
Sure.
wants to build level 2s with it, or if he wants to build level 1s in the center and just not have them be level 2'd.
But building level 2s in the center also hurts us because we're playing against Harpies.
Well, level 2s in the center would mean that you'd have the chance to try to like build them up to level 3 and dome them, perhaps.
True, but
I don't know if the
if you
timing
had
of that is
if
good.
you
That's
had
a long game, we'd probably end up before that.
if you had more than one level 2, I mean that's an easy problem to solve. If you have the access to multiple ones, then one of them becoming on level 3 isn't really a
Yeah, multiple level 2s
threat
in the
to you.
centers I'd be terrified
Yeah.
of.
The bigger
I'm not
concern
sure
for
if
me
I'm-
here is the C2 worker moving up to D3, double building
Hmm.
on C4,
Right.
because then we can't decide to put a level 3 there. We can't, you
Oh
know.
yeah, that is actually very
So
concerning.
that's my bigger concern. Whereas the
So-
other places that they could build
Right.
level 2s, we can stop. So this is what I'm
Connor,
doing.
why don't we use Eris's? Oh,
Because I think we want to get out of the corner as well.
but now D4 climbs up, and it's it. That's it. We
Well,
want
bear
to-
in mind you still have Hera, so he'd have to find a way to get to the center and win there.
But that's D4 is so much accessible now.
Well, if he goes to E5 and double builds D4, I thought the plan was to build on top of D4 and dome that all. I don't know if it's a good
Yeah.
plan or not. I'm just
Yeah, no,
assuming
that
that's
is
the
exactly what I was
intent.
exactly what I was thinking.
Hmm.
Hephaestus and Harpies. Who
Will
picked
this
these
be our
teams?
last game of today?
Depends how quick it is.
This is. I'm not liking D4's position right now.
So I will just play this and tell me if you like it, because only building once.
Yeah.
They cannot, I mean, they can move to C2, but they are forced, of course, to the ground level. And by doing this, they don't even have the option of creating a level 3 over here. So I think this might be better. And we also keep the D4 worker in that strategic square, always keeping that option of moving up to E5 and blocking that C3 worker in a sense. So do you do you like any other move, or?
Gang, I'm gonna have to skedaddle here, so I will see y'all on the next one.
Take care.
Nice
Take
to see
care.
you, Kevin.
Okay, he's gone. We can talk about him.
So are you, Manik, are you recanting your C3 placement at the start of the game? or what are you thinking now about that C3?
Yeah, it's tough to say. I want to just dome this off. What do you think, Connor? But I don't know how we apply the second one though. Oh yeah, probably we can still.
So the first thing I was looking at was moving to either E2 or E3 and putting a level 3 up so that we. But I don't see a good way of doming it then.
Yeah, E2,
Well,
we have several
that's
good ways, right?
That's better, right?
So,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is good because it gives us the D2 square that we can stop in.
Yeah, but I think then they might step down and cut off access because C3 cannot. But we can still use their Eris to our Eris to dome something. Yeah, I
Correct.
think this is
Yep.
is nice.
Yeah, that square feels much better than E3
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because otherwise you wouldn't be able to move to D1 if we move the D1 worker.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like positionally is the idea here for the Harpies team to kind of like make the dark squares unusable for the other team, because it feels like a lot of like level 2s and 3s are being built there and you're kind of encouraging it.
The longest diagonal.
Like I was saying, it seems like you're causing the dark squares to be built up a lot.
Yeah, but which ones are the dark squares?
Oh, well, the board looks like some of the squares look like a dark green and some of them look like a light green. So I'd say the shorter diagonals.
Ah, okay. I never thought about it.
I think that the distinction is only particularly relevant for like Hippolyta and perhaps Harpies.
I think in this move we should move the D1 worker still.
Maybe to C2.
Yeah, the problem with C2 is that it allows them to move to D2, which I think it's a good position.
Yeah.
A move I was considering is D2 to D2 and build in D1.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Oh,
I love that move.
And we can try to do something which is to trap one of our workers together with one of their workers. If we are able to do this, then Eris lost her power. Yeah. And
Smart.
yeah, I didn't see that move. That does seem strong.
so I don't know, because moving the D4 worker allows them to move to D4, which I don't know.
It was good. Connor, if they do so, are you thinking of using the D4 worker to dome off their? So where would you want to go then?
So yeah, my first thought was to use the D4 worker. A little bit concerned about them, but Hephaestus just stepping up to C2 and building on D2 twice and trapping us kind of over the side there. That's a bit scary.
But can we stop that? Maybe by C3 to C1 and building in C2, but that limits us quite a bit.
Yeah. If we were to move this D4 worker, I imagine C4 might be a good square.
Yeah, just giving us more stopping points, right?
Yeah.
But what are we gonna do with the level 2 at D2? So
why not move to C5?
I can't dome off D3 from there.
Okay.
Let me just have to think about this.
I think we might be better off not letting D2 climb up, because then we really don't have any chances to prevent D2 from getting up to level 2.
The only way to do that is to go to C1.
Right.
You have
Yeah, I'm not happy with that. I'm just thinking about it. What do you think? Like, is that a strong enough reason to not, take this bad C1 spot?
I may want to issue you guys a warning, If you do that and build on C2, then what is probably coming is a level 1 build on C3. Or at least that's one possibility.
Yeah, we can't. Thing is that the usual strategy of fighting against Hera is to just try and control the center. Or sorry, with Hera is you try to control the center. If your opponent tries to step up, you get there first. But against Harpies, your opponent builds a level 1, you try step onto it and fall off the other side.
So the other thing I'm considering is E2 to E1 and building on D1.
So then if he tries to build twice on D2, we can't stop it. We can with Eris.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary looking. So then so let me just
well, you wouldn't be able to stop it because the timing would be it would be Hera's move, right?
Just one question. When you control one of our workers, does he still get affected by Harpies or
No.
not?
The wording makes it sound because Harpies says each time an opponent's worker.
Opponent's worker. Okay, it's settled. Yeah, that's actually good for you, I would say.
Yeah,
that you are able to use a worker normally.
It is, but it's already looking like a really bad position.
I don't know if we can stop the female worker from climbing to level 2.
Gordon, you're meant to be helping us.
Right. Well, I liked the C5 move and forget about doming the D3 because
where does he build on C5?
I think on D5. Yeah, but I'm not sure. My reasoning is I don't see the immediate threat on D3, so that's why I was thinking of doing that, and I want to be able to move the C3 worker onto a better space, to a dark space, as fast as possible.
What are you thinking, TMJ? What have you got? Because at the moment, I am drawing a blank.
1 minute, please. Yeah, I'm just...
I can also move up to E5 and build on D5, just so that if that guy wants to move again, he has to step down.
I think the biggest threat is coming from the D2 worker, so just wanna...
I like that I'm like smart enough to see that threat, but not smart enough to stop it.
Yeah, I think both of us. No, okay.
All right, I just got to do something. Not convinced it's good, but it's.
I just want. Oh, it's done.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, nothing was happening.
I already see the end game from this move, so
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think here the most obvious move is, at least to me, it's just to move to c2 and build twice in d2.
There's nothing
And
you might also play d4 and build twice on e3.
yeah, that also seems very logical. Now that you mention it,
Because
since
they can't go level 1 on c2.
yeah, and in the next turn they are not Eris, so they kind of have to move the c3 worker, and then we can move to e5. Yeah, that also seems a reasonable option.
And you have the corner to go up.
Yeah, the problem is we cannot win in the corner, and we have a possibility to move to a central level 2. We will, if we go to c2 and build in d2 twice, even if they block d2 by building a level 3, we can move up to d1 and then build in c2, and next we can go to c2. And then we can use Hephaestus in the following turns to keep building levels 2, which is very appealing. And bear in mind that we don't have to move. Eris is only 2 in 2 turns, so we don't have to keep moving the same worker. We might only need to move it just before Eris, so that we don't get dragged to the ground. So I don't know, that build twice in e3 seems also interesting. I guess we can do it.
Wow.
Yeah, why not?
So strategically, do you see any way for the Eris Hera team to survive strategically? I don't mean tactically.
Who is that a question to?
Anybody and everybody. Yeah.
For me, it's still too soon to make any conclusions. It feels like Hera's team is not in a very good position, but domes are starting to be built in the center, and Harpies is starting to get weaker. So, and you may also use Eris' ability to defend for some turns, and you might get back into the game.
I assumed that the main threat was if they can't figure out a way to get up with you on like get up around the D2, D1-ish area, that you were going to eventually be threatening with Hephaestus's power to move to E1 and double build D2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you totally have killed Eris's ability, and it seems strategically I can't, and I think that's a worst case scenario. So I don't think there's any hope here of Hera Eris.
Well, bear in mind that the Eris does have the idea of moving the D2 worker so that they can't do that. I don't know if it'll work out well, but it is at least an idea. Right, if they move the D2 worker, then the D2 worker can't just sandwich itself into E1. At least in theory.
Connor, what do you think of this?
I do agree that it looks pretty bad for Bears team, though.
Yeah, what I like to do with Harpies most of the times is not trying to win. It's just trying to lead the opponent to a terrible position, and then I can win.
Connor? So my reasoning behind this is, oh, my Chrome crashed. Oh no. Come on, restart. So yeah, so my reasoning behind that is the D4 worker cannot go up this turn because the only good spot for it would be E4. Sorry, D4. And then we can get up on that and potentially ruin things, or no, I think here he builds in E4. Yeah, I still like it.
I'm inclined to say if I'm throwing my hand in, I think you do want to be able to move to D4 at any given moment if they light you, so. Although maybe the response there would just be move to C4 and double build D4. Or maybe that's really bad. I actually can't tell.
But they can't double build this turn. And they really want to use their oh, actually they want to use their D2 worker, so we wanna make it so that they would move it, or they wouldn't move it.
I don't know. I feel like that puts your worker way too far away.
What's that?
I feel like if you do that, it'll be very tough to reach a lot of critical scores.
Mm.
I think the idea with moving to C5 is that you're trying to say that if they move their D4 worker, you're at least going to like try to take that area.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I feel like they're just gonna move like to C3 or build on C3 or something. Try move to like C4 or build C3.
Yeah, maybe moving up was better.
There we go.
I don't know why didn't you consider moving to the corner? That also seemed counterintuitively good. Good,
Oh yeah, that might have been good.
considering your options, but
Which
I-
corner?
Yeah, moving
E1
to E1.
because
But you're gonna immediately block it off with Hephaestus, right? And you're not gonna move.
no, I'm not a
He's not on Hephaestus' turn. It's
Oh.
Harpy's turn this time.
so
Yes.
Tome, what are
Oh yeah.
what are your thoughts?
I'm thinking about maybe going to C1 and build D2 maybe.
Yeah, that seems very interesting option indeed. The other option, I think, it would be to move the D4 worker. I don't know where, but with the purpose that in the next move we would go D2 E1 and build twice in D2.
Yeah.
And trapping both our workers, but why is it better for us? Because then Eris no longer has an ability.
Yeah,
So
I think if we move our D4 worker, maybe we are giving them a chance to win maybe in that corner.
yeah, that's also what I'm considering. What about D4 to C4 and building C3? That looks, yeah, but they can go to D4. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But that looks at least tempting. Yeah, but I
think this
I
one.
think the first move, maybe it's better.
Because if they don't get out of there, we block them next round maybe with FS.
Yeah, for sure. And
So
yeah,
and Bringer, do you wanna? Oh, you haven't confirmed yet.
we have to consider another possibility, which is if they can trap that worker in E2 and in E2 and E1, and that worker can somehow win in that corner. But yeah, I don't think so. Even if that happens, in order for that worker to when he finally reaches level 2, it will have a hard time moving to a good square, I think. So yeah, I'm happy with this move.
So we've got two choices now. One of them is to rescue our E2 worker and
I
run
don't
away
think
to
we
A.
wanna rescue. I think we just wanna go C5 to C. Oh, we can't climb up yet. Oh, sorry.
Yes,
You were-
Harpies is annoying.
So well, we can go C5 to. Do we move up to C2 or we know we stop?
No,
on
no,
C3?
you don't. You
we
wish.
can go to A2.
Yeah, well, Harpies would be way different if they moved up at the end. That would be pretty strong. Like
Yeah,
to be against the Harpies in that situation. I mean,
I think it would be much weaker.
yes.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
So I mean, even if we just get our worker out to A2, I mean, what we really need that one to do is to just be around to build domes in the center, right? I mean, it doesn't really matter if they get up and they start building E3 or D1 because they can't win there. So,
Right.
and like they were saying, if they just step up to D2 and if they build A1 and they trap us in and we no longer have a turn, we lose Eris's power completely. So I think we have to
I agree. Yep.
I don't really know why you didn't double build on
Because
D2.
it was not Hephaestus.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the reason they didn't do it. Yep.
That'll do it.
Happens to us. Yeah, happens to all
Well,
of us.
you passed the test. Okay, so I'm thinking A3 for where to build.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I like that move a lot, actually. It like gives you better options for your C5 worker eventually, I think.
Mhm.
Something to
So-
ricochet off.
A lot of options now. I can't even choose one. So I mean, I guess moving the C1 worker is more
The
or
way to
less.
go.
But then we can build twice in.
I think C3 is maybe a good place to build.
I feel less pessimistic than I did 2 moves ago. So
Yeah. It looks better.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah, I
C3 is a
think
good spot
less
to build.
less pessimistic.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
problem
better is
now
kind of strong words, you know.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's gonna slip away from us on the D4 square, and as soon as they start cutting off access to that, it's done.
Yeah, I will move up because I don't know if I like C3 because they can try to dome it, and C3 is the most dangerous square against Harpies for the opponent. I mean, so
Yeah, but we can
I don't know
try,
if
we can
if
try
we
to
should-
win in D2 maybe.
yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
So what about just a single build on C3?
Yeah, that's what I was also considering, but yeah, maybe that move. But moving to D2 so that we can move up in the next turn.
Right. Didn't see that.
So and another good thing about this move is that we can also move the other worker to C3 if we want to. But we now have to be careful with the D2 worker because of Eris or Eris. I don't know how to say it. She can force us to that hole in the corner. No, I think we. Not sure. I think we should still build in the center
Yeah.
twice. I mean.
Yeah. Because that D2 spot is as
Even
soon
if
as you
they
come
block
up
it.
access-
I have to leave, so I'm going to hand over the host, and you can just shut it down whenever you're finished.
So we will go with this move. Okay, with just one build.
Have a good evening, Gordon.
Yeah, take care. So
Bye bye.
I'll just hand over the host randomly here to Nathaniel. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
I think that means that you now have to share the screen.
Oh, right.
Oh,
right.
I
Yep,
can
that makes
leave
sense.
my computer on. I can just leave my computer running. That's okay.
Oh, okay. That works.
Yeah.
I think you're not currently sharing the screen though. Unless if I accidentally clicked out of it somehow.
No, it's sharing stopped.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So yeah, maybe you do have to do it. So I will leave now.
I don't have this to the thing yet, so give me a minute. And we are back. And looking at the board from a terrible angle. Oh yeah, I was also considering on that last turn, it might have been interesting to try D4. Actually, nah, never mind. That move would have been bad. Okay. Talk myself out in like a second.
Yeah, Tomei, we have to be careful about just not letting that D2 worker get trapped in the corner, or maybe we can even allow it, because in that case we will play with one worker, but at least Eris doesn't have an ability. We have to take that in mind.
This is a possibility in a lot of situations, it seems.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do with Atlas against Eris, for instance, is to trap one of my workers and one of Eris' workers. And then it should be easy to win.
Yeah, makes sense. Just don't do that if you're playing Terpsichore.
I think that matchup is banned, but it would probably be favoring Turks. Well, would it? It would be really weird if it wasn't banned.
Which matchup?
Terpsichore Eris. I don't think it would make any sense to play it. So
No, it isn't. It isn't banned actually.
Oh, it isn't banned.
But no. But yeah, I think you have an easy win with the Terpsichore because you just choose which worker to move first, and it's almost always you can choose either worker and end up with the worker that you prefer.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
So Connor, I don't think we have much left to do. I like moving this worker A2 to B2 because it gives us access to close off some of the D2 space, the C2 space. But that can quickly go away. I'm not counting on that, but it's just in general a bit better than this one because this doesn't really give us anything. No access to close off C2. What do you think?
Interestingly, if you do a move like that, you are still aren't threatening to try and move to the center. Not necessarily saying that that's good or bad or anything, but
what about the idea of moving to B4? Is that any different?
That one's feasible.
Keeping one on light and one on dark squares.
But aren't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Early in the game, that helps.
You trying to concede the game on our behalf there, Nathaniel?
I was trying to. Oh, there's the full screen option. There we go.
One thing is that the worker that's on D2 can step out to the C file and build on the other place, and that would kind of block us off. So if you did move A2 to B2, I think building on C1 might be a good option. That way we have 3 different places we can step up to. And this game, I don't think we've been off the ground level, so it might be a nice experience. Actually, yeah, I kind of like moving to B2 and building C1, but if you have a different plan.
So the only thing that I've not been able to think through in that is, wouldn't the next move be D2 to C2 or D2 to C1 and build on the other? Right, so which probably only leaves us moving up to C3,
which is a perfect space to go to, isn't it?
Maybe. Well, no, there might be an immediate issue with that because if you did D2 to C2, there'd be a level 2 on C2 and D1, right? So if you go to C3, if you don't build either of C2 or D2, they'd move up to C2 and double build D2 for a win on the next turn. And if you do build C2, then they move to D1 and double build D2. So I think there's like a tactical issue with trying to go up to C3 there.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
That's all right.
I cannot think of anything else in this. What do you think?
Sure. Let's go with it. It's probably better than building one of the center squares anyway, so
Okay.
yeah. Let's see if they fall into our careful trap.
The B2 worker is threatening to move up to either C3 or C2. And of course, we cannot allow it.
Yeah.
So
I think
we could
maybe go up to the D1, build on D2. C2, sorry.
Okay, that's actually, yeah, I see it.
Because next round you are Hephaestus and you have a good chance of winning D2 maybe. I don't know if they can even stop it.
Yeah, if we move to D1 and build in C2, if they move to C3, for instance, which would be my biggest worry, we can win in D2.
Yeah, if they go to C1, they also can defend C3 next round, so...
Yeah. Yes, is that winning?
I don't know if...
Yeah, I like that move. And they cannot control our D1 worker because we will move it. Our D2 worker as of the moment, but...
Oh, but they can actually go D4 to C3 with our worker. And build somewhere else and they can defend C1.
Yeah, but I don't care about that move. D4, C3, they're moving up with our worker. I don't care. I will say thank you, I guess.
But I guess it's the only way to save this position.
They have some tricky defenses, I guess. They cannot move the B2. They can leave the B2 worker where it is,
Oh,
but
yes.
yeah, but they cannot move to C3. That's the whole point of this, and that's why I like it.
Okay.
So TMJ is writing in the chat. I don't know if you are seeing it or not.
Yeah, I saw. Talking about this move built, which would be building up on D5. Not sure, but not sure if D5 is my favorite spot to build here because you guys can't win on D5, whereas
I don't think going on D5 is necessary.
Yeah, I agree.
The problem is that 3 of the other squares are in the center and probably just help the other team more than us. B5 means that we have got a place to stop if we move our B worker up potentially. It stops us at B4. The other option I was thinking of is to just move their worker further into the side into E4, and then just like build on, for example, E5. Because if it ever moves back out, then we get to take control of their other worker. So effectively, it's
but we don't get control in the next turn.
I suppose we only do it if specific. But it also frees up the space for us on D4, which I quite like.
Mm-hmm. How's the space on D4 different from C4?
Well,
it's Harpies, so anyway, we're gonna end up on A4.
I mean, the threat. One of the threats they have this turn is to move up to C3, and build on D2 twice. We've got to jump into a corner and not on a corner, but like out of position on C1 to try and block that. I just feel like they then have to have 2 workers that are both can get up to the second level, and it's quite difficult for us then. That's why I'm just trying to move that worker so he can't.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Oh, what are you thinking, Toady?
I'm thinking that we don't need that worker, so we can try to use the other worker.
Okay, we have a 2-to-1 worker advantage. We have to be winning.
No, we have
but our
to.
workers are probably drunk. They end up that's fine.
We have to be aware if we don't threaten to win, they can move up to C3 maybe.
No,
because next round we don't have Hephaestus to.
Yeah, but right now they cannot move to C3. They are forced to D4.
Yeah. True that.
I think the move is more or less natural. I mean, we can also move e4, d4, but I think I prefer this. And we can perhaps build twice in b3, build once in c3, or build once in d2.
I think build one thing d2 maybe looks
Yeah.
looks
Maybe
good.
Maybe because you can create
Next.
threads in d2.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do it. And now I think we can move this female worker for the rest of the game and we'll be fine. But we don't have to. Before Hera, we can move the other worker. And a good thing about having the e4 worker right there is that they can also, they cannot use it to defend our threats. That can also be good for us.
Yes.
So, just one question: have you been out of the ground level in this game? No, really.
So
I don't remember.
No, I don't think we have. But we can any turn we want to. We could do it right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
nothing's preventing us. Actually, why not?
So
Does it say-
one issue is that there's gonna potentially drag us back to C1 when we need to deal with
we anyway would
D2.
have,
And it's nicer to have two different people that can move to D2, but not like they can stop D2.
I think C5 worker never has a chance to reach D2 because I don't know if they're probably gonna close off C3 as soon as we try to do that.
What happens if we do step up onto C3? Sorry.
We can't. Oh, right now
You'd
can't.
end up on D4.
Yeah.
Oh, we would. So yes. Yeah, that's not good. That's
Yeah.
Lose.
in fact, it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, if you play that move, you will lose right away in D2.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. I didn't see that you'd end up on
I don't
D4.
think
Actually,
you
that
can
does
even-
make an interesting idea come into my head, though, if I may.
Oh, go on.
I haven't like analyzed it yet, so there is a chance that there's like a immediate like good response, but you can try C5 to C4, trying to like eventually move your worker from B2 to D4. The downside is it puts his E4 worker back into the game, and the upside is it puts his E4 worker back into the game if he chooses to. I'm not sure about the move at all. It's just an interesting possibility to think about.
Okay, I'm gonna think this one through.
I think every move with a female worker looks bad right now. I don't know.
Are you thinking about building on? Okay.
So why am I thinking that is I can then if I need to go there, I can bring one here, build this. You know, maybe you can get a level 3. You know.
If Harpies are walk up to level 3 and are forced off it, do they still win the game?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Mhm.
Connor, I think this is anyway not our game anymore. But
I don't know if it ever was.
Maybe
yeah,
if you're gonna move there, maybe think about building on B4 to give your like C5 worker kind of a better spot.
okay. Yeah.
I
Oh,
was saying B4.
B4.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe. I don't know. I guess that would make him forced to A3 instead of B4 later on, which might be bad, but it also could get you a level 1 out of the deal. I'm not sure. It is a central square, so maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm mostly just clawing at anything that looks like an opportunity to get that C5 worker back into.
So
but it might not be good. Might not be good.
My next move with their female worker would be C2 to C3 and build on D2. But no, I can close it off as long as I.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, maybe.
But before you do anything, right? So the immediate threat here is going to be just moving their worker to D1 and building on D2. We need somebody that can immediately stop D2. So moving over to A3 and building on A2 loses immediately, right?
Well, I can move to C1 there.
I can move to C1.
we can still move back to C1. I was thinking
the key
we were
thing
going to
is
step
like
up
if
to
we're worried about that, we're trying to place our builds so that it's like gonna help us the most on the turn after. There is the alternative of building on B3, but I think that plays into their hands of just like building a ton.
I think this
too much.
This is looking slightly better to me.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
It's annoying that I did see the move of going back to C1 to block D2, but then so much time passed that I managed to forget it again.
Yeah, I've definitely had that happen to me before in analyzing things.
Well, just play anything.
Yeah, I think D2 builds on C3 looks the obvious move right now.
Yeah, and I think we should go for it. We could also try to build in C1.
Yeah, or maybe even B2.
Yeah, but we don't have to do it. Just build C3, I guess.
Yeah,
it's simple. We're probably gonna be able to get a mate in 3 or something like that.
Just bring down A3 to. Oh, we have to go all the way to C1 then now. Oh Oops. Maybe A1.
No, I think this other worker needs to do something a bit more exciting. It's not helping whatsoever here.
Okay. Yep.
But I'm just wondering if I bring it. Because at least if it's on the B file, it can come down to B1 if it's needed to block. Like for example, if they move to if they move down to here, and build D2, force us to C1. The next step could be them just building it on C2, and our worker on C1 can't block that, so that it runs over. Oh, cool.
If I can warn you, right now the main threat I see from them is moving to something like C2 and double building C1, and just absolutely stopping you from doing anything about D2.
Yeah, that's.
So you probably want to move that at least like has a plan against that.
I think either way that's over, right? Like if we do that, we anyway give them the game at D2.
Maybe you try to get a build on B3 so you can get your other worker to B3 on like a level 1, but that'll probably backfire by them just double building B3 instead. So I don't know. Well, if they double build B3, at least that's another dome.
Yeah, I just
I don't know if
see
that's a lot
any,
of consolation, but
I don't see any way to stop them just building.
I think there's one other button, right, in Bringer on the top of your screen.
The cancel button?
Yeah, exactly.
So we might have a mate in 4 or something like that. We might.
I think.
yeah, now that
Because-
I'm looking at this more, I think
If
I see one as well.
If you build a C1 twice, it's done, probably.
Not quite, but it's a good move. Because they can move to B3 next. But it looks terrible. But I think if we build twice in B3, they only have one way to defend, which is to go to A4. Then we can build in C2, there's only one way to defend, and then we can build in D2. Yeah, I think it's over like that. We move to... We
Yeah, I
move
think he's right.
to C3, we build in B3 twice. They block that in A4.
They can block it with our worker, though.
No, in B3 they cannot,
Oh.
because our worker moves like a normal worker.
I thought you meant built in C3.
Yeah, and then we can move C3, D2, build C2. They have to defend, with A3 to C1. And then, I think it's over with this move.
Yeah, they can't even move our worker because next one to play is Hera.
Yeah,
I see the end. Connor, do you
Yes.
wanna play it out? Maybe it's nice to play it out for an audience.
Yeah, I think play it out for the audience if you want.
Yeah. Losing on YouTube.
yeah. So now the thing about moving to D2 is that we want to build in that square next.
Yeah.
And the annoying Harpies pulls you to C1, and you cannot do anything about it now.
Oh darn, I thought the winning from E3 looked more stylish there.
Right.
Yeah. It just feels less
Yeah, less natural.
yeah.
There we go. Domed it.
We call
I
it
mean
a
you
draw.
guys do have a lot of domes. Like
Yeah,
if you
now
had a side power of Cronus, this would be pretty close.
Oh, it's the time where I resign.
Good game, guys.
good game.
Yeah.
GG.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to have one passive power in each team,
It does mean that the other person, like one person, doesn't really get a power. Then the team has a
Exactly.
power,
Yeah.
and
yeah, but
Uh,
since we are playing communicating, we're basically having
mhm.
the power
Yeah.
in each round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should log off. Go think about my life.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good game.
good games.
See
See
you
ya.
around.